In this video I am presenting my Ranger force, which is a hastily raised force to help defend the Moot from the stronghold of Zufbar. You can see it's comprised of 2 Ranger units. One is Bugman's and 2 units of Slayers and a small artillery park. Here's another view. All the artillery in the army is light, so that it can be easily carried and moved quickly. You'll see that there's on the right there's some old 80s monkey guns, and then a couple bolt throwers of different kinds, and the very old flame cannon. One thing I like about that flame cannon is that it irritates people because it's so out of size with everything else. And I threw in one of the cooks too, just because they're cool. One nice thing about the figures that they used to make, Games Workshop used to make, is that they just really looked cool and they were more inventive. Here's another picture of the monkey guns. And here's a dwarf on the toilet. There's also a urinal set that Games Workshop put out a long time ago, but that was a little too far for me, so I didn't buy that one. One thing I like to do with this figure when I'm playing against a dwarf player, when he goes to the bathroom, I replace his general with this dwarf on the commode. And then when he comes back, he wonders where his general is, and he sees that he was on the commode just like he was. Since Crack Cadrin is also in the area, that's where the Shrine of the Slayers is, the head of the Slayer religion, is really close too. I would figure that they would be coming down south and would also be in this force. Here's a close-up of the Ranger unit. Here's my Bugman's unit, a little bit larger. Another picture of the Bugman's unit, and you'll see that there's a couple gyrocopters with it, and there are some more Rangers in the back, just a small group, and also another bolt thrower that they're pulling along. I don't like using characters in my army, but there are a couple characters that I really like. Felix and Gotrix, which are here, and Thanquil in the Skaven army. One good thing about Felix and Gotrix is actually because they can't go in a unit, they're actually kind of detrimental to your army because they're easy to pick off. But they're fun to have just because of the lore behind them. Here's some figures from the 80s. Once again, there's a lot of character in the Games Workshop miniatures in the 80s, and here's getting somebody being brought back on his shield. And that's it for this army. It's just a small one because it's a small army. I'm also going to present my my regular dwarf army, and you can also, if you look back in previous videos, you'll see my Roman dwarf army.